welcome to Dragon Breath Gaming. I know it's been a while since my last video, but I was having some audio trouble, which I have fixed. So, um, having said that, today I'm just going to be going over kind of a part two of a Diablo 101 as a kind of a continuation of my other video that I did. Because I noticed in that other video that there were some things I didn't include, so I'm going to be covering that today. And also just touching base again on the stuff that I did cover then as well. So first things first, I'm going to go over some vendors here. Those of you who've played MMOs or Diablo before, this is just going to be nothing new for you. So, but for those of you who might be thinking about getting into Diablo or maybe have never played an MMO before, this video is for you. So vendors here, this guy here, Hadric Eamon, he is a blacksmith. Um, the artisan that you see there underneath his name, that just means that I've upgraded his this particular vendor to the highest level it can go. So if I click on him, some of the things he can do here is you can forge weapons here. Um, so and each of these colors means something different, which I'll explain here in a few minutes. You can also forge armor. You can salvage items if they're not of any use to you. So what that means is you can break it down into raw crafting materials. For instance, here I have a set of pants that I picked up. I'm going to identify them. Okay, it's not really anything I'll use particularly, but yeah. So what I'll do here, if I had uh, some other items, I could use these buttons here. So these three buttons here salvage all items in your inventory of the appropriate color. So for the white one here, it says break all normal items down into crafting materials, which you will get usable parts for that. Um, with the blue items are magic items. So if you click on that and you had blue items in your inventory, it would break them all down into crafting materials, which gives you these arcane dusts here. These are the reusable parts from the normal items. This one here, salvage all rare items, which are yellow. And those will give you the Veiled Crystal. And then, since there isn't a salvage all button for legendaries, you have to click on them one by one. So you click on the big anvil here, and you would click on the legendary. As you can see, these are legendary pants, and you can tell that because the writing is in orange. So I'm not going to use these, so I'm just going to salvage them. I hit OK, and it gives me Forgotten Souls. So all these items that I just went over here, you would use to craft certain items. So as you can see, if I were to craft this Master Hatchet, it would take 11 reusable parts, 11 arcane dust, and 7 veiled crystals. You'll also find these raw materials just by killing mobs when you're doing your bounties or if you're playing through the storyline. So they're very easy to get and pretty, just pretty, they're used just for like usually lower grade items. And then if we go over to, let me just go to a vendor here. So, blue items, like I said, are magic items. The yellow items are rare. Let's see if I can find... these here are also just materials that you can use. So these essences correspond with each of the different kinds of gems you can get in the game. So amethyst, diamond, emerald, ruby, and topaz. So what you can do basically is if you have 9 of a particular gem, you put that in one of these into the Knize cube, which I will cover here in a few minutes, and it basically transforms the 9 of whatever gem you put into it into the type of essence that you include with it. So for instance, if I had 9 of these amethysts here, the Marquise amethyst, if I had 9 of those, and let's say I didn't really need them, and because I'm a monk I use dexterity, so I would need emeralds. So I would select this here, Essence of Emerald, cost 500,000 gold, which in Diablo, I mean, is really easy to come by, especially when you hit level 70 and you start farming. So I would buy an Essence of Emerald, put that in my cube as well as my 9 amethyst gems, and it would transform the same grade of gem from the amethyst into the emerald. So that's useful if if you're trying to round out your build here and you need just a few extra gems, um, or you need to upgrade a couple of your gems to maximize your damage or toughness if you happen to be a tank. This is another way you can do it. She also sells these Hellfire Ring plans and a Hellfire Amulet plan. At this point, I mean, unless you're a fresh 70, they're really probably not going to be all that useful to you, as there are better items in the game. Um, but it's definitely an option if you want to try and collect the different materials for that. Um, so in addition to learning the plans, you also have to get uh, body parts from Uber bosses as well. And see if I can find some of the ones I have here. Okay, so right here I have Heart of Fright, and well, that's the only one I have right now. There's 4 body parts in total, and in order to actually get to the Uber bosses, you have to use these infernal machines, which drop off of key wardens. So there's a key warden in each of the 4 acts, um, and so there's. Let me just go into the map here. So right now I'm in Act 2, so Sokar, the key warden of putridness, and so he will drop the corresponding infernal machine here of putridness. And the same is true for all the other guys in the other acts as well. So in Act 1, it's Odeg, the key warden of regret, which is like a Kazra Goatman looking elite. Then in Act 3, it's Zarith, key warden of terror, which kind of looks like a lizard. And number 4, Nekarat, which I think is also another lizard looking elite. So those are where you get the 4 infernal machines, and when you open the portal, there's only one way to open the portal, and I'll actually show you that. You go to Act 1, New Tristram, and you have to go all the way up here. You'll see on your minimap there's a little heart, which is this brother Malaki the healer, and basically you smash the door down and you find a place called Heretic's Abode. So if you go in here, doesn't look like much. It's just a shack. You see a bunch of candles on the floor. But this is where you activate the Infernal Machines to open the portals for the Uber bosses. And I will be covering Uber bosses and keyword and farming in a different video. But for now, let's get back to the vendors and uh, just some of the other things I wanted to cover today. So the next vendor, first was the blacksmith. Next one here is Covetous Shen. As you can see, I have him up to artisan level as well. And you get him from doing a quest in Act 2 in the sewers. You have to save him out of he'll be in this barrel, and he'll basically ask you to kill all the enemies around him. And then you'll have to take him to find his assistant that was off looking for a specific artifact, and then got corrupted by Diablo, so you have to beat him. You'll get the item, and then he'll agree to join you. He'll agree to join you from there on your adventures. So what this guy does is he takes your gems here, and he can upgrade them. So as you can see right now, I have Marquise gems right now, which when you're farming at level 70 in the low to mid torment levels, typically those are the type of gems you're going to pick up. So if I wanted an emerald, I could upgrade my Marquise emeralds into Imperial. So as you can see down here, to make one Imperial emerald, I need 3 Marquise emeralds. So I can make 10 in total, and I would just move the counter down here at the bottom to 10, and it would do them all at once. And then from there, you go up to Flawless Imperial Emerald. So same thing, 3 of the Imperial Emeralds to make the Flawless Imperial. So I can make 5, so I'll make the 5. I can make, and the next step above that is Royal. So as you can see, your stats are going up each time we do this. So I'll make 2 of them. There's more, I think I can do more on that, but I will cover that in just a second. So also with this guy, besides combining gems, you can forge amulets if you don't have any amulets. You can forge rings as well. And you can also remove gems from your equipment so you can put other stuff in it if you need to. So I actually do, so I can upgrade one of my gems here. So I'll go back here, I'll make a Flawless Royal Emerald, which is the highest level of gem you can go. Sorry about that, guys. My phone rang and I just had to answer the door. So to recap with this guy, you can combine gems to make them stronger. You can forge amulets and rings, and you can also remove gems from your equipment if you decide to do something different, or you just need to upgrade the gems that you already have socketed. Next thing is this girl up here, Miriam. You get her from a quest. Also or actually, I think that she's in Act 4, I believe. maybe Act, yeah, I think it's Act 4. And what she can do is she can enchant your weapons. So if there's a particular stat on one of your items that you don't like, you can re-roll it into something better. So if, just for example, if I were to, let's say I didn't like the extra gold for monsters, let's say. If I didn't want that, if I hit the question mark here, it will show me the possible outcomes of what could be re-rolled. If I did want to re-roll it, I would just select it and hit replace property. What she can also do is she can transmog an item. So if you don't like the look of the way something looks, you can change that here as well. So let's, for my shoulders, let's say I want to change my shoulders. Let's see what we got. So you select whatever one you want, and then you hit transmogrify. Okay, so also you'll see this person called Kadala, and she is actually a blood shard vendor. So when you do rifts and greater rifts, once you beat the rift guardian, you'll get blood shards. And you can also get blood shards from goblins that run around the world as well. So when you have enough, you can trade them in here for either weapons, armor here, or jewelry. And she can give you anything that's either a magic item, rare, legendary, or a set piece. Um, Quite often it's usually just rare items, which are garbage. Um, but every now and again you might get lucky. And last thing I wanted to cover here is the Knights Cube, which you actually get from a quest, and I will cover that in a future video. But what the cube lets you do is you can break down legendaries and extract their power so that you can add it to your stats in addition to what you have equipped. So you can have one slot for your weapon, one slot for armor, and one slot for jewelry. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video if you liked it, and I'll see you for the next one.